Hello and welcome to the third Devblog video for my translation project of Nanatama Chronicle of Dungeon Maker, or as I like to call it, Dungeon Maker 3 for the Sony PSP. In the previous blog, let me see, I went through quite a bit. It was primarily focused on, well, some of the menu systems and also for rulebook entries. And we ended up with ending with the conversations at the research lab, or our lab as I'm calling it in this. So that was where things were at. Now, this is now, let me see, when did I do the last video? Let me have a quick check. That was back on the 26th, so it's been 3 days since then. Well, it's only been 3 days. Okay. Alright, so the focus since then has been on trying to get more of the town and more of the rulebook done. So I'll go for the rulebook first. Now, I warn in advance, the rulebook is extremely lengthy, lots of entries. That is going to take me a massive amount of time. I really just want to I'm kind of eager to get this game to a point where I can start going into the dungeon and start playing the thing. So that's where a lot of the focus has been. But I'd already started on it, so I wanted to at least finish this one. So anyway, in the previous video we had core, which is like basic basic gameplay features like the daily game flow. This was an interesting thing, particular with Nanatama, which is like use of the Guardian days and element days that affect the dungeon. I don't think that was in there before in the other entries. Anyway, so now I've got all of these done now. Again, remember I'm doing abbreviations because I'm stuck with the fixed widths. So we've now got entries for the home. I think that was there in the other video too. Got one for now, there's a rulebook entry for if you want to have a read about how the research lab works. For the building materials store. The market, so dealing with buying, selling of goods. The psychic, well, I'm calling it psychic. The actual in-game translation is fortune teller, which is actually probably what it really is, but since I'm stuck with very strict limitations, psychic fits a lot easier than fortune teller. Anyway, so I'm going to say psychic. The smithing store, the chemist, which is where you go to buy medicines, and the town exit. So in translating of this was a bit interesting. I now then discovered that you get the choice later on to travel to either the dungeon or well, for the ruins, the dungeon, and then there's something called a dimension door that you unlock later on in the game, and then you can go direct to that. If I'm thinking how the other games worked, they did have like element-based rooms or something that you could go to. Like there was an earth one, water one, air one, and fire one, I think. So maybe that's they're referring to. I don't know. We will see in time. So I've got those rulebook entries done. Now, next up, I actually got to work on getting some of the stores done. So only some of them. Even getting one done takes ages. So we already had the research lab done. I'm just speeding through this because this was already in the other video. Currently there is no store here yet, because as of this point in time, you don't have any research data, but you get that after you start going to the ruins or the dungeon. But that takes us to the first one that I've translated now. So now we can go to... Oh, that's alright. Wow, I'm loading a save game. Actually, give me a sec, I'll need to reset. Because I translated the first conversation that you have at the market. Let me just speed through this really quick. No, 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 no. Just bear with me as I very quickly speed through. Because I've now started saving to speed up, you know, progress, so that I don't have to go through this conversation every time I want to go test something. And then I've been doing that after every conversation, making a new save. Problem is, then I can't show you because I've already saved after it's taken place. But anyway, so here we go. Now, we can talk to the girl who runs the market. So, now, I know, again, abbreviations. I would have liked to have had this actually say buy, like B-U-Y, and then S-E-L-L, but each one was limited to 2 letters. How do you say buy and sell in, like, 2 letters? So anyway, we can go by, we can sell, we can buy food if we want to. For example, we can now buy vegetables, wheat, herbs, which is used in cooking. Cooking you do at the end of every day. And you can also sell either the standard items that you already have in your backpack. You can check them if you want. To sell them, you know, because that way, and these were in the previous games, you can check items to mass sell them all the ones that you place a check against. And we can also sell any food ingredients that we want to sell. And if we go to leave the market, so the market is now fully done, at least as of this point in time. If more stuff gets unlocked, then I will obviously translate that when it comes about. The next one, and this will be the last one for this video, and this is a much quicker video than the other ones. Even though it takes a long amount of time, it's so quick to showcase because, you know, there's, you know, not much to show. Next up is got the fortune teller. So if you're ever into getting your fortune, and I said fortune teller, I meant to say psychic, but well, she really is fortune teller anyway. So if you're ever one who likes to go get your fortune read or you're unsure of where to go in the Dungeon Maker games, it's always good to go to the fortune teller for them to guide you along the quests and things, you know, of where to go. And she gets her own music too. So, the next part of it was, because that was then, every NPC in the game has an initial conversation you have with them, and then you have the basic shop-style interface that would be present every time after that. Like, if I leave now and then go back to either her, or if I go to the market, it goes straight into it. But the exception to the rule there is, like, if say you've gone off to the dungeon or it's the start of a new day and a new quest has been unlocked for the player to get, then the next time you go there, she you know, they would pop back up again and give you the quest. But I haven't got that far in this game yet. that I've been given a quest yet, but it'll be interesting when I do. But anyway, so a common thing when you go to a fortune teller is to have your fortune read. So we can go here, and as you see the little tooltip down the bottom right, get fortune told. So if we pay a fee of $100, very expensive to go see a fortune teller, but very cryptic kind of message that she gives to you. But actually saying that time will continue, or time once frozen will resume again if you head to the ruins. So that does those locations. So we now have three out of the 6. Now you might be looking at that and going 1, 2, 3. Wait, actually no, 7 locations. So if you may look at this and go, wait, I don't see that many locations. If you look, I mean, if you've watched the previous videos, you'll know that after you go to the dungeon for the first time and return back, in the, let's see if you can see my mouse cursor. Yep, around here is the player's home location. So that will be another one that I need to translate once that becomes available. But since I've now already translated the rulebook entry for that, which was back over here, I already know the basics of what's in there. This is the beauty of translating the rulebook section. It gives me a heads up on what to expect, that the menus will be like. You know, again, unfortunately I can't translate those images on the right because they're image files and I don't know where in the hell they are or how to translate them. So, if someone else wants to come along and do that at a later point in time, you're more than welcome. Anyway, so other than that, main focus for now is to get the rest of the stuff in town done, because I want to get the game up to a point where everything is translated up until the point where you leave to go to the ruins for the first time. That's my goal. That's like my first goal with this project, to get it to that point, and I'm so close now. I do also want to do more of the rulebook entries, because we've now got this, which, if I remember correctly, this is all stuff to do with the dungeon. So all dungeon style entries telling you about how it works, and there's so much stuff in here. That is going to take a mammoth amount of time, but I may leave that to a later point in time because my focus for now is on getting town done. So if you can see from the amount of icons there, so we've got this one, this one, this one translated now. So the next one I'll be working on will be the smithing store right there, and I'll show that in the next video. And I also want to get the chemist done and the build shop. Once all 3 of those are done, then that will be a really big step in this. That'll be all the main key buildings, well, other than your home, done. I'll probably need to do that too, even though the home is after. I'd probably still like to do it anyway. Yeah, the thing is, these 2 don't unlock anything, but when I do the build shop, it does. Because, well, then when we go here, there'll be an additional category, which I've already got the menu option done. It'll say BM for building materials. In this, it'll be, I think it'll be just right here. But the actual individual things themselves need to be done. Yeah, so that was, you'll be seeing that in the next video. And the next video will mark this being just about at the point where I'm ready to do the dungeon bits. And I'm really excited for that. I can't wait. But one thing at a time. But at least we've got these 3 done now. Still not anywhere near what I would call a playable kind of state, where someone could just play this and just freely play from this point. But nearly. I think even with the Japanese text, once you've got the basic menus in place, and if you've played the other games, you'll know the basic game flow. The only thing is you won't know what in the hell you're doing in the dungeon when you've got a quest or what. So that'll be interesting. Alright, so that is the state of things as of the 29th of December 2024. The next entry, which may very well be in the new year, will focus on the smithing, chemist, and build shop, and possibly player home. I may have that in there too. But that is my sole focus, to get those things done, because once that's done, as far as the town is concerned, all the functionality that needs to be there will be there. And then anything else that pops up later will be additional work to do. You know, extra menu options, which of course are going to unlock as the player comes across more things and gains access to new stuff. And if there's anything new to Nanatama that's specific, that wasn't in Dungeon Maker, then I'll encounter it. Like orbs, which is in the stat screen that I did. On the stat screen? No, the recording screen that I showcased back in the previous video. It shows something about orbs there. If you see that in the bottom right corner, around here. So I'm looking forward to actually encountering that and seeing how the game works in that regard. Another thing I will do later is the save screen. Now, saving itself looks fine, but all this information you see here is all in Japanese. So I want to have that all translated at a later point in time. So it's actually showcasing, you know, I really want to just change that from Nanatama and just call it Dungeon Maker 3. I don't know if I got the balls to do that. There's probably a lot of people want to keep it as Nanatama. Anyway, I'm trying not to change too much. Yeah, anyway. So I will see you guys in the next video where we delve where there's more done and we can delve deeper into the game. Alright guys, have a good one. But it is great to see this transforming over time into a much more playable state. Alright, see ya.